All right, I am back after the little mishap. So hopefully everybody comes back who was here before, minus the troublemakers. It's actually good. I needed something to drink anyway. I'm pretty sure that was my end, Syracuse. I had the internet go out here. And I don't know if you heard me say this before it went down, but all I'm working with right now is the internet from my local telephone company, which is pretty crappy. But for the last year, they've been talking about getting fiber optic internet out to residential places, but they haven't done it yet, so I'm still waiting on it. But once I get that, it'll make things a hell of a lot easier. A lot faster, too. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I did happen to see that Columbus got the number one wild card spot. So Notre Dame dismantled North Carolina in the title game of that simulator. That's awesome. That's awesome. So that means they officially have 2 Final Four appearances and 1 national championship. Oh, hey Mason, how's it going? Yeah, unfortunately, as good as Notre Dame basketball had been under Digger Phelps, they only had 1 Final Four appearance, and that was back in the late 70s. Oh, no kidding, Mike. You're right. As good as technology is, you think there wouldn't be a problem with it. But unfortunately, there is. But like I said, it's just that what just happened, that was my problem. I don't have the best internet connection in the world, just local telephone company. And let's face it, when it's just the basic internet from the local telephone company, it's not going to be that good. Oh, Eric, you said it the best. Anything created by humans will have human error. That is A+ to you for that comment. That is so true. Well, hey, I mean, in the world of fiction, how do you think Skynet got started? Because of human decisions. It's kind of good that the internet did go down because I wanted to get a drink. I was thirsty. But yeah, Eric, maybe you could help me out. Before the connection went out, was I still talking about Jordan Howard? Oh, well, to address your first comment here, yeah, that's what's great about video games is you can use your imagination and have a lot of fun with it. I mean, the old Madden games. Well, see, this might sound pathetic for me to say, but I'm still playing a PS2 right now because I just can't afford a new system at the moment. It's not a high priority. I mean, there's debt I have to pay off first. But that was always the fun part, just in the Madden games, always creating myself and making myself the quarterback. And, oh, by the way, I'm in the Hall of Fame. I've thrown for like 500 touchdowns and 60,000 career passing yards, something like that. Oh, yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky, Eric. I got mine when it was brand new. Well, this is actually a second one. The first one, wore down after so long. But yeah, that's a great thing with video games is you can use your imagination. Just make anything happen. I have that laying around somewhere, Eric. NCAA football 2004. I don't know where it's at, but it's somewhere around here. But the one I've been playing was 2008. But first off, before I get back to Jordan Howard, Mason, I see you have the Cubs marquee in your picture. How'd you feel about that one today? Oh yeah, Dynasty mode is so much fun. Taking a team and building it up from scratch. Yeah, me too. Normally, you would think that 10 runs would be enough to win a game. I tell you, if these last two games, if I don't know, I hope that's not an omen of things to come. But that bullpen needs to get their shit together quick. Otherwise, it's going to be a long ass season. Now, I will say this though, Yu Darvish, of course, 2 2/3. Yeah, I'm talking about last night's game. Not surprised, but I'll let him slide on that one because, to be fair, and I'm a fair guy, that was his first time actually pitching a game in over a year. So I'll let him slide, but after this, the slack is very thin. But yeah, let's see here. I did that, Eric. I did that. I didn't do any of the Ivy League schools, but I took Texas State, and ironically, Texas State, they are now an FBS school. They're playing in the Sun Belt Conference, but I did the same exact thing. This was years ago before that happened. The Texas State Bobcats, took them, put them in the Sun Belt Conference, worked my way up with them, and I got them invited to the Big 12 Conference. They replaced Iowa State. Oh, it was funny. And then, sure enough, a couple years after I did that, Texas State actually became an FBS school and joined the Sun Belt Conference. So, who would have thought that? But to get back what I had originally wanted to talk about briefly, Jordan Howard. I don't know how much of this you heard before the internet connection went, but my brother and I were talking about that trade, and this is what he said to me. He's like, well, Sean, running backs don't have the same value that they once did. They're pretty much a dime a dozen. And after thinking about that is kind of true. But at the same time, not all running backs can do what certain ones can do. I mean, you look at, some of the top backs in the league right now, Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, Jordan Howard, based on the numbers, was right up there with them. Not all running backs can do that, can put up those kind of numbers. Now, here's the thing. I was fine with the Bears trading Howard. Okay, he doesn't fit their scheme. He does have trouble catching the ball out of the backfield. Well, Eric, I don't know if I would say that he was misused, but just, the emergence of Tariq Cohen and as fast as he is and him being able to catch the ball, it just, Jordan Howard's load was going to be a lot lighter. So I don't know if I would say he was misused, but all I know is I agree that as much as I like Jordan Howard, he wasn't a fit for Matt Nagy's offense. But so what I'm getting at is I'm fine that they traded him. I take no issue with that whatsoever. But if all you get is a 6th-round pick in return, not for this year's draft, but next year's. I mean, next year's draft, that's just insult to injury right there. I mean, if you're gonna trade a running back of Jordan Howard's caliber, then you better get return and you better get value in return for that. Well, they just let Parkey walk. They paid him the dead money to be like, get the hell out of town. Which, to be fair, with Cody Parkey, the kick that he missed was partially blocked. But still, though, he had problems long before that. So, and it didn't look like it was going to change anytime soon. So it probably was best for them to go a different direction with the kicker. But the point is what I'm getting at with Jordan Howard. That may very well be the case with running backs in the NFL today. They may be a dime a dozen, but not all of them can do what other running backs can do. I mean, not all running backs get 1,000 yards a year or an average of 8 touchdowns a year. It just doesn't happen. Actually, Parkey had been kicking with the Dolphins before he came to us, but you're right. He did kick for the Browns at one point. But yeah, the Miami Dolphins was his last stop, and he signed with us as a free agent. And I mean, at the time, I thought it was a great signing. Well, not great, but we'll say good. Yes, Saquon Barkley and what he's done so far in his young career, it's been incredible. So no, you can't really. Yeah, that's a somewhat fair statement, but at the same time, it's not with running backs being a dime a dozen. Because like I said, not all running backs can do what these guys can. So with Jordan Howard, if you're going to trade him, then you better get value in return. And a 6th-round pick in next year's draft, and granted, they say, oh, it could potentially be a 5th-round pick. Well, I don't give a rat's ass. If you're going to trade a guy like Jordan Howard, we're talking 1, multiple draft picks, and 2, and I'm not saying it has to be 1st or 2nd rounders, but I'm thinking like a trade for Howard. We're talking maybe 2 4th rounders and a 3rd. I think that's pretty damn fair for what he's been able to do in the league in his young career. Oh, what was that contract like? Like, what was it, $50 million or something like that, or over what, 4 years? I know it was a ridiculous contract. I know that much. Okay, yeah, it was a 4-year deal. Yeah, that's what I thought. $52.5 million. No. I should get credit for that sub, Eric. You got, because see, I led both of you guys here, and Mason subbed to you because he was here with all of us at the same time. I'm just messing, guys. I always like to be silly. Yeah, okay, but would you have known about it? Would you have known about it if you weren't already subscribed to me? No, you wouldn't. JJ, what's up, dude? Of course I know you and that you're from Ohio. How have you been, man? Haven't gotten the chance to talk to you that much. But yeah, it's your buddy JJ from Ohio. Like, I just forgot who you were. Yeah, dude, how about this? I've started doing live streams, talking to my audience. It's been awesome. I think this is what, the sixth or seventh one that I've done. Yeah, I've been doing all sorts of different things on here, stepping up from just doing regular videos where it takes me like 4 or 5 tries to get it right. Going live, conducting interviews now, which I've told you guys about. Yeah, man, I just wanted to try some new things. I mean, look, doing the videos are great and all that, but I wanted more of a chance to. Well, I mean, I've talked to you in personally, but all the rest of you guys, I've just wanted to, you know, well, obviously we all live across the country, but this is the best thing that I can do to talk to you guys in person somewhat. Well, yeah, you know what? You know something, Eric? Maybe you said that as a joke. I don't know, but I wouldn't be opposed to having you on. No, if you got Skype or something, well, mine, I can't use my Skype until I get a better internet, but uh, there's some programs out there. Oh, definitely, definitely. I'm not sure when they play next, but we'll definitely do it for sure. Yeah, no, we could try basketball. I mean, I don't know basketball as well as I do football, but I'd be willing to talk it. But yeah, JJ, yeah, it's nice to hear from you, dude. I haven't really had a chance to talk to you much on social media, but um, I've been really busy, dude. I've been working 60-hour weeks, and oh, it's been nuts. But I hope you've been doing well too. How's everything in Ohio going? Oh yes. Just catching up on comments here. Shit, Ohio sucks because of it being Buckeye country or just the weather. So I'll say it gets cold here in Illinois too. But yes. From what I've seen of the videos, Shane Simon, Jack Lamb, that could be. I mean, it's only spring. It's only spring. You can't read too much into spring practice, but whew, that has the potential to be very deadly and lethal. I agree with you. See, that's the thing, right now we're at the same spot that we were a year ago. We had so many question marks coming into the season, coming into spring practice about who's going to be the next starter in certain positions. But the way I see it, Notre Dame football, we're at the point of not having to rebuild but reload. So it's just a matter of who is going to step in and be that next stud. Now, last year, of course, it was um, well, Dexter Williams, he was already established, but he took over from where Adams left off. The receiving core, it was Chase Claypool, Miles Boykin. Obviously, Boykin is gone now, so it's going to be Chase Claypool to lead the way with the receivers, um, and obviously Chris Fink coming back to play out of the slot, and then it's just a matter of who steps up on the other side of the receiving core. Because I know we have a lot of guys who are fast as hell, but it's just a matter of, and this is what my uncle told me recently when we were talking ND football. He's like, Sean, you're right. We have a lot of speedy guys in the receiving core, but can they catch the damn football? That's awesome, Mason. I kind of figured you did with the, or you were at least from here in Illinois with, I seeing the Cubs marquee in your picture there. Yeah, Lindsey. I've heard a lot about him. He hasn't really seen any action because I think he was only a freshman last year, and I was sure that Kelly was going to use him in the Cotton Bowl. And then you got Eric. Clemson. I mean, they're freaking on top of the world right now. They are a juggernaut. Well, JJ, they do. Ohio does have a lot. They do have plenty of liberals, but of course, the conservatives outnumber them. At least until you get to a campus town, anyway. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Mason. Are you? I'm not asking a particular town, but what part of the state are you from? Are you from the Chicagoland area? I'm always curious when my fellow Illinoisans show up. I mean, I actually made from doing these videos, I made a good friend up in Chicago because of it. I went up and visited him a couple of times. Are you serious? Are you serious, Mason? That's where I grew up. So I'm still in the Quad City area. Yeah, like I said, that's where I grew up. That's where I went to. I grew up, went to school. I don't remember any Petersons growing up there. Assuming that's your real name. Yeah, I have it on video here. I just actually played in an alumni football game about 3 years ago. So suited up one more time for the Maple Leafs. Yeah, I played too. All throughout high school. I was a backup offensive lineman. Sometimes played on the D line too, and I'll be the first to admit it. I wasn't a great player either. But it was great just being out there. No, dude. JJ, I'm not going to make fun of you for playing soccer. I mean, growing up and playing for Geneseo, where do you think we got a lot of our kickers from? The soccer team. Well, at least 1 year we did. I can't say that was a reoccurring thing, but there was 1 year where we had a kicker that was from the soccer team. So Yeah, I'm glad, Eric, I'm glad you were able to have some success. Myself, when I look back at myself at, 15, 16, 17 years old, I didn't have that balance in my life in what it took to be a good football player. Because unfortunately, summer got here, and I got a little lazy. Didn't do all the stuff that I should have done, and I was more focused on having fun than working. But like I said, that's where, if you want to be good at something, you got to have that balance. Oh, what, dude? When you get to college, when you see these guys at the collegiate level, a lot of these guys are, I swear to God, they're hybrids of something. They are just absolute freak athletes. But yeah, playing high school football, it was, despite the fact that I sucked and got my ass kicked regularly, it was a lot of fun. It really was. I played with a great group of guys. But playing in that alumni game that I did a few years ago, it was kind of a good chance to redeem myself because I had actually spent the whole year hitting the gym and getting in shape for that. And I could definitely tell the difference that I had gotten better. So it was an alumni game. It doesn't say much, but for me it did because it just shows what you can happen when you actually put the work in and have that balance in your life. Balancing the work with fun. Now, Mason, were you a green or a white? And for the rest of you wondering why I'm asking that question, the way football works where I grew up, youth football, you start playing, if you play football, you start in fifth grade, and that's youth. And youth league runs all the way from fifth grade to seventh grade. And then eighth grade is its own separate thing. And then you get to high school, freshman and sophomore, they have their own teams. And then after that, it's varsity. Now, of course, in the smaller towns, they combine seventh and eighth grade. They combine freshman, sophomore, but we were a big enough town that we were able to have separate teams. That's awesome, Mason. I was a white too. I was an eighth grade white, and that was back in let's see, 1999. Honestly, that was probably the only bad year of football I've ever had. Honestly. But looking at your other comment, Mason, that doesn't matter if you didn't play at the high school level or not. You're still from where I grew up, so that's awesome enough. Oh man, that sucks about your freshman year, dude. We um sorry guys, I keep getting sidetracked. You guys put up comments and I wanna read all of them. I want to catch up. But yeah, going back to earlier comments here. Yeah, Eric, you're definitely right. Soccer, it's not easy. I played that when I was a kid, so I know enough about soccer to know that much. So JJ, you deserve just as much credit as those of us who play football. And you're right. You're right again, Eric. You definitely have to be in good shape to play because you're constantly moving. But I'll tell you this: when I played back in high school, I was very fortunate that we never, in all the years that I played, we never had a losing season because we were undefeated my freshman year. Our last game was canceled because there was a car accident that killed that where three kids got killed, so they canceled the game out of respect for them. So still, we went 8-0, 9-0 my sophomore year, and then junior year we went 6-3. Won one playoff game, then lost to Riverside Brookfield in the second round. And then my senior year we went 8-1, and then we no, I take that back. My junior year, we lost to Rochelle in the second round. And then it was my senior year, we lost in the first round to Riverside Brookfield. And Riverside Brookfield, they're a team here that in the state of Illinois, they, do a 5-receiver shotgun style offense. And that's awesome. That really, Deshaun Kaiser went to your hometown, huh? That's awesome, JJ. And his dad's a cop, huh? That's awesome too. Damn, 69-32. Is this a football game or a basketball game? Yeah, there's actually a couple of Notre Dame high schools here in Illinois that I know of. One is it's a private school. Well, I would assume they're all private schools if it's Notre Dame. But there's Quincy Notre Dame, and then there's down in Peoria. There's Peoria Notre Dame. Oh yeah, I can't imagine how much those games suck. But yes, that that locker room after a loss, especially in the playoffs, it's very emotional to say the least. I mean, hey, I got emotional, and I didn't even play in that game my senior year when we lost in the first round. I mean, I can't say this for sure, but some might have been surprised at that because really the only time you would see me get playing time is if it was I don't know how this works with other states, but when you get up 50 in a high school football game here in Illinois, they start continuous clock. So that's the only time you'd really see me in the game is if it was if we were up by 50 or so and it was continuous clock. But maybe some of the guys in the locker room were surprised that I'd be breaking down, but despite the fact that I got my ass kicked playing high school football, it was really a great time for me. Because, like I said, I played with a lot of good guys that some I still talk to, some I don't get the chance to because they moved away and I've lost contact with them. But it really was a special time. Ugh. Yeah, that doesn't help either, Eric. When the coaches when they're coming out with the wrong game plan. Oh, no kidding, Mason. I didn't know that either. It's just Peoria and Quincy were the only two that I knew had Notre Dame in the name of their school. Okay, well that makes sense. And yeah, that makes sense. Then if you're playing teams that don't know how to attack that kind of defense, then yeah, you're right. You could get away with it. So Mason, if you played eighth grade football in 2013, then I'm guessing that you're pretty much just out of high school, aren't you? That's interesting. Having your defensive ends go into pass coverage. I can honestly say that I really haven't seen that. I mean, granted, watching the Bears, um, I know that I've seen Khalil Mack. He gets down in a stance, but really he's mostly a linebacker, and obviously linebackers you will see them in pass coverage plenty of times. Oh, hey, football expert. Yeah, I think they'll be pretty good this year. The only question marks is who's going to step up and be the studs this year. Who's going to lead the way for us? Yeah, that's Eric. That does sound pretty stupid because, really, I mean, why would you ever send your defensive ends into pass coverage? And if what you're telling me is fact, and you were getting you beating your man every single time and getting to the quarterback, then why would your coach ever send you back in pass coverage? That makes no sense. No, that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all to have a defensive end in pass coverage. Unbelievable. Yeah, they should just have the nose tackle go into pass coverage. Okay, well, at least I'm glad it wasn't too often then. But that's just freaking stupid. I mean, granted, look, I'm not a football coach. I mean, if I was, if I was, then I'd be doing it for a living. But that just, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that it's not a good idea to have your defensive end go into pass coverage. This is kind of off the subject, Eric, but in New York for high school football, do you guys have conferences or do they do districts? Okay, I guess I've never heard of a system like that before. See, because the reason I ask is, well, see, here's how it's set up in Illinois. Okay, A B C D Class C South. Okay, that almost kind of sounds like That almost kind of sounds like, to a degree, district scheduling. See, because here's how it works in Illinois, at least for the time being. We have 8 classes, and in each class there's we have different conferences. And right now my alma mater in Geneseo, they're finishing up a stint in what's known as the Northern Illinois Big 12, but we're going to be going to the Western Big 6 next year. So it's going to be all local teams. So we're going to be playing against Moline, Rock Island, all that, the bigger schools here in the area. Football expert, that's Syracuse and Buffalo Sports. He told me that I could address him by his real name. So, but anyway, they're all conferences. They're not. So anyway, I'm sorry, I got lost, guys. But anyway, we have 8 classes here in the state of Illinois. 8 being like, your Chicago suburb schools, and then 1A being your small towns in the middle of nowhere. And right now there's just conferences. Like I said, the Northern Illinois Big 12 is what Geneseo is playing in. That's where I went to high school. Joined the Western Big 6 next year. But the thing is, we are going to district scheduling here in the state of Illinois in 2021, I believe. And so what that means, there's still going to be 8 classes, but the conferences are gone. And the thing is, your opponents fluctuate year in and year out with districts based on enrollment and things like that. So instead of a conference name, it's going to be like this: Conference 5A, District 4, that kind of thing. I wouldn't say it's like being an independent. I mean, there are some high schools in Illinois that are independent, but it's just basically what district means is the IHSA, who runs all the high school athletics here in the state of Illinois. What district scheduling means is they pick your opponents. That's what it means. Because right now as it stands, you can pick with conferences. You can pretty much pick whatever conference you want to play in. Like if you see a conference that's a better fit for you, you can move, or you can request that conference to let you join and whatnot. So yeah, basically, so right now you can pick your opponents, because you can pick what conference you want to play in. But yeah, district scheduling, the IHSA picks your opponents for you, and you still, and there, from what it sounds like, it's still going to be a 9-game schedule, but only 7 of those games are going to be district games. So basically, the first 2 games that you played are going to be basically like preseason games in the NFL, because they won't have any effect towards your playoff ranking whatsoever, which I think is bull crap. I'd rather just stick with playing in conferences. And what really sucks about it is for Geneseo High School, my alma mater, it was set up so perfectly, because it going to the Western Big 6 conference, and you guys can look this up if you want to. It was I know the number doesn't make sense, but that league is actually going to an 8-team league, but they're going to leave the 6 in there just because it's, for tradition purposes. But of those 8 teams, 7 of them are nearby in the area. The only one the one that is kind of a bitch is Quincy, which Quincy is like a 2-hour drive from here in the area. Yeah, I hear you, Eric. It's just when district scheduling comes here to Illinois, it is just so stupid that you're playing two games that have no. Well, there's meaning to it, yes. I mean, you're stepping onto that field and you're playing the game, but it's just stupid that they have no meaning in regards to your playoff resume. That's the stupid part of it. I'm not saying that the game itself doesn't matter. It's just the fact that there's no implications to it whatsoever. So you could lose, it doesn't matter. You could win, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting at. But football expert, to answer your question, my favorite music, I'm a classic rock guy all the way. AC/DC is my favorite band. Was very fortunate enough to see them play Wrigley Field back in 2015. And what's really cool, and I haven't shared this yet, but I'm going to be seeing the Steve Miller Band here over the summer, I think in June. So I'm really looking forward to that. But they're going to be the show that I'm going to. They're going to be headlining it with Marty Stewart. I don't know how many of you guys know who he is. And then Pure Prairie League, the band that sings the song Amy, What You Wanna Do. You know, that. I'm not really a big blues fan, but I do like Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I know he had a lot of blues influence. So it's good stuff, just not my favorite. But Mason, you're absolutely right. Quincy is quite a drive. But if that was the only drive that the high school teams had to make, to make for a couple for really only that one big drive, that conference would have been perfect. But looking at the early district projections, they're going to have Geneseo be going to Ottawa, Rochelle, I think Mendota was in there, Kankakee, McNamara, I think it was. So it just really screwed up a lot of things, and it's a really big disappointment. Bo Diddley. Oh, it's that guy, huh? Well, Mr. Diddley, he's a good musician, but the same troll that was here before, bye-bye. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I can take a joke as much as the next guy, but there's just some crap that I'm not going to put up with on here anymore. It gets old after a while. Well, see, football expert. This is actually my second attempt at a stream tonight because earlier I had my internet connection go out on me, and there was a couple guys that showed up earlier. One, and it was basically the same guy with two channels, but he called himself Diddley Squat and something else. But just he was a troll. Then there was this other guy, Steven Saucer. He was kind of the same way. So they're just basically, to answer your question, they're just a few people that are screwing with me. And the San Antonio Commanders are getting closer to the Hot Shots. I still have the Alliance game on. Yeah. So it's probably that Steven Saucer, and he has two other accounts. Or like I said earlier, it's just Uncle Lou trying to screw with me. I can't prove that, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if it was him using multiple accounts, because like I told you guys, I have seen that happen on my time here on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Eric. Streaking time. I cannot believe that I couldn't pick up on the going commando joke. I know that term, but I wasn't thinking about it. But yeah, I know, football expert. This could easily be the last AAF game that ever happens, but because I've read the reports too. Now their owner, that dude who also owns the Carolina Hurricanes, he is not able to get cooperation from the NFL Players Union because he wants them to be able to come play in this league if they don't, latch on to an NFL team, and they don't want to do that or something like that. And it's unfortunate too because obviously this league hasn't been the best football that we've all ever seen, but these guys are trying. They're giving it their all, and you got to give credit to any player who does that. Because these are guys who are hoping to get into the NFL and all that. But I hope they find a way to make this work, because I would like to see the Alliance go head to head with the XFL next year, just to see what it's like, see what happens. And the crazy part is, the TV ratings and the attendance for these games hasn't really been terrible. I mean, I'm looking at the Alamo Dome right now, and it looks I'm not saying it's packed to the rafters or anything, but it looks like there's a pretty good attendance number there right now. Yep. Yep, the XFL is starting up again next year, Mason. I don't know if that one's going to last, but I just hope it's at least a better product than the original one was. Yeah, he's Johnny Manziel. He's a part of the Memphis Express now. And from what I didn't see the game, but I guess he already got hurt. Yeah, that's putting it lightly. He was good in college. He was good when he was at Texas A&M, but just couldn't make the transition over to the pros. And don't get me wrong, he's not the only one, but yeah, isn't that the truth? But at the same time, I mean, I do give Johnny Manziel a lot of credit for trying to clean up his life, and get out of that. But that's the thing, some guys like the nightlife too much. Which I'm not going to say I've never gone out and had a good time at night or anything like that, but it doesn't consume me. I mean, I was at the bar last night hanging out with a buddy of mine, and oh, he was cocky and arrogant for sure, definitely. And for those of you guys wondering, that was if you heard that, that's my one cat teasing the other, and they're one's pissed off. So that was my cat hissing. You guys knock it off. All right, hang on, guys. You guys knock it off. That's putting it lightly, Mason. They are crazy kitties. Yeah, I have several right now. Because the two younger ones that I think I might have explained the story before on another stream, but the two younger ones that I had, I'd gotten laid off from my job around the time that I got them. Hey, knock it off. And so I couldn't afford to get them fixed. And they had kittens. 4 of them. And long story short, did find homes for 3 of them, but unfortunately they all didn't work out. So I'm stuck with all of them. I've actually shown them to you guys on the stream before. If you want, I can hunt some of them down. But here's the thing: I'm glad to be stuck with them, though. They're nice. They're nice little guys. Actually, there is one of them right underneath. Hey, come here. Come here. You're going to be on the show. This is one of the big babies. One of the 4 kittens. Oh, another asshole showed up. This is one of the 4 babies from last year. His name is Rutherford. Say hi, bud. Hi, YouTube audience. He's a good boy. And guess what? You're going to be getting fixed on Friday, aren't you? So no more being crazy. Yeah, he's probably Rutherford here. He's probably the nicest one. Well, they're all nice, but he's the most outgoing one. And it's hard to imagine, dude. A year ago, you used to fit in the palm of my hand, and now you're like lifting weights. But he's a good boy. He's a good boy. All right, you can go now. But it's crazy. The father, he's an all-black cat. I think those of you who were on the first stream, you saw the mother. Her name's Bailey, and she was a mixture of gray and a little bit of tan in there, I guess. But she ended up having 1 black one and 3 oranges. So definitely some older generation coming out in there. Oh, who are the best football YouTube people? The one that comes to mind immediately is Big Vol Daddy. He has been on here pretty much since I started here back in 2009. He always has some good stuff to talk about, but he covers more than just football. I mean, he's done the NCAA tournament, all sorts of things, NFL, you name it. He's a good one. I'd say my buddy Magnum, but I haven't seen him do a whole lot of videos recently. But Eric, Syracuse and Buffalo Sports, he's done a couple of videos. But Eric, you kind of just started doing videos, didn't you? Um, I'm trying to think of all the guys in the old trash talking circle. But Law Tide, he's another good one. Uh, Football expert, are you part of the group too that's stalking me? Because if you are, just say so. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll say this though: Watch Lou. Watch, in your comment, Watch Lou. I mean, he is a popular one, but myself, I personally don't like him, and it has nothing to do with football. Just being honest. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. If you guys want to watch him, that's fine. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. I'm just telling you guys myself personally, I don't like him, and I'm talking as a person, not as a character. Because I've seen his videos in the past too, and they're funny. Just once he made things personal, that kind of changes things. But yeah, I'm trying to think of all the guys that do football videos regularly. Oni Kuno, he's one. Um, well, hell, I got my computer here. Let's look him up. Well, of course, if you're a Notre Dame fan, Dos Leprechauns, that's a good one. Um, Bill Fervalls, he covers a lot of Tennessee football. Eagles fan for life, he's does a lot of videos. Hoss 4107, like I said, Law Tide. Um, Savage Tiger. AK Brown 15. I remember watching some of his videos, but I haven't seen a lot from him lately. Big Ball Daddy, I already said. Because, like I said, some of these guys, I think they've stopped making videos. But anyway, that's a start. So I mean, you go look at some of those, you go check out some of those guys. That'll lead you to some of the others. Yeah, I know, Eric. I got to remember that. That's one of my problems is I get a little too paranoid, and I always look for the worst. Unfortunately, I'm trying to work on that. Yeah, BVD, he is an awesome dude. I've known him pretty much since day one when I started here on YouTube, and I've talked to him before, personally over the phone. I'm looking to hopefully meet him for the first time later this fall, because I'm going down to Athens for the Notre Dame Georgia game, and I'm looking to on the way down drop in and see him. But he's a great dude. And EDP445, I have no clue who that is, Eric. But yeah, like I told you, I have this unfortunate thing called paranoia, and like I said, I'm doing my best to not look for the worst or just assume it's the worst. But you're right, though. Not everyone is a pawn. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of him, and based on that, I'm not going to check him out anytime soon. Yeah, it's unfortunate though. I have a couple of at work. I have a couple of coworkers who are Eagles fans. No, but no, my coworkers, they're good dudes. Just obviously, when the Bears lost to the Eagles in the playoffs, it kind of sucked. Mike Hawk. No, I have not seen him. Yeah, Mason, go for it. Any video you want to watch, check it out. I mean, yeah, Big Vol Daddy, I would definitely recommend him. Great dude. Oni Kuno, him and I clashed a little bit. Not really clash, but I think he does a great job at videos. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't ever recall me and Oni Kuno ever clashing. I think I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, I get it. Like Mike Hunt. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to wasn't trying to get set up for the butt of a joke or anything, but you'd be surprised with people people on here who use that as their screen name. Then you'd think it was a joke, but they're actually legit people who make legit videos. Of course, I'm not trying to take the fun out of a joke or anything like that, but it's true. Yeah, Isaac Hunt. I think one of the ones that I like from The Simpsons was Mike Roch. Or of course the classic from Black Sheep, Mehoff Jack. Yeah, IP Freely, Amanda Hug and Kiss, Ivana Tinkle. Put down your glasses, everybody. Ivana Tinkle. One of the classic jokes that we used to do when I was in junior high, same kind of thing, like the Bart Simpson prank calls, was all the different authors, like the classic, yeah, Dick's Insider, yeah. We always used to have like book titles, like The Yellow River by IP Freely, Bloody Balls by Rusty Zipper. Brown Spots on the Wall by I Fling Poo. Then, of course, Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts. Yep, you beat me. Literally simultaneously, football expert. There was a few other good ones. I think there was Yellow Spots on the Toilet by I Can't Aim. That's one I never heard. Dash to the Outhouse by Willie Make It. Yeah, all sorts of different ones like that. That was the running gag all the way back when I was in junior high. Then this probably isn't the best one, but there was the Ballless Brave by Chief No Scrotum. There's not really. I wouldn't say that there's anything too juicy, but for those of you who don't know, back in the day, like one of my first jobs, I was a pizza delivery guy, and I don't know if there's really any juicy stories that I have. I did have a woman when I took a delivery once. I did have a woman that she was wearing nothing but a towel, and she went to exchange money, and the towel came off. That's really the only juiciest story that I have. But yeah, we would get quite the number of characters as far as customers go. We had a guy flip shit once because with our to-go orders, and Pizza Hut does the same thing. You know, if you guys ever go to Pizza Hut, you'll see them put the receipts inside the slit of the box. This one guy flipped shit because we did that. If you're talking, Eric, if you're talking about the woman whose towel came off, yeah, she was attractive. But no, I was on the clock. I didn't hit that. But yes, I would say that my faith was definitely tested on that one. Oh, but yeah, going back to that one dude who'd bitch about the where we put the receipt on the box. You would think that someone robbed him of his social security check or something. He would call back the next day to my boss, bitched and complained like it was the worst thing that ever happened. And of course, my boss then was and still is a good friend of mine. He would give him all this free stuff, like a free pizza, this and that, whatever. And I'm like, dude, he's doing this on purpose. He's trying to get free stuff. Don't enable him. But this guy would come in like once every. He was either at one point it was every week, but then it would be on average it would be like every 2 weeks. He'd come in and pull the same thing, and this guy would cuss in front of kids. And I even told him, I was like, "Hey, you watch your mouth in front of the kids." And he'd say, just like your stereotypical Southern hick, "What'd you say to me, boy?" I'm like, "I told you, watch your mouth, boy." And he's like, "Oh, whatever you say, boy." And I was like, "Get the hell out of here." But there were people like him. And where I worked too, the pizza place was located inside a bowling alley, so we would have some league bowlers that would get pretty testy with us. Kind of you could just tell they were having a bad day, and we're the ones they take it out on. And surprisingly, it was actually the women's league who had the most rude people. But yeah, I'm trying to think of all the stories. Well, really, I mean, like I said, there's nothing really juicy about those days. Like, some of the cool stuff. You make some good friends at a job like that, and there'd be times where we'd hang out there in the restaurant and have a few drinks and stuff like that, shoot the shit. So that stuff was always pretty cool. I'd say one of the funniest stories is I knew, actually, Football Expert, I knew that he had of course, when we played them, I knew he was going to mention me, and someone even told me that he did it, but I've never seen it, and I don't plan to anytime soon. But anyway, as far as funny stories from the pizza parlor days, there was this one woman. There was this one woman who was always rude to us whenever we'd take a delivery to her. And this part's insulting. Obviously you're not required to tip. And if people didn't tip, I personally never had a problem with it. Actually, whenever people on a delivery couldn't tip, they'd always be so apologetic about it. And I'd just be like, hey, look, it's okay. I'm not going to despise you because of it. But this lady was different. She would always pay with a check, and on purpose, she would make the check for like 20 cents over. So that something like that, I find insulting. You're purposely making your check 20 cents over, and that's your tip, 20 cents. And that's like a spit in the face right there. Like, it's kind of like saying that, hey, you guys are a joke, you're nothing, blah, 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 blah. So after that, we would start screwing with her. She would always, one time, excuse me, one time somebody forgot to put a fork in her salad. And she made such a fuss about that. I'll answer that question in just a second, Football Expert. So anyway, every time she called in after that, she'd always be like, make sure you remember a fork for my salad. Make sure you remember a fork for my salad, blah, 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 blah. So what I would start doing is every time she called in and got her usual salad, which was she'd always get a Caesar salad, but she wanted it mixed with ranch dressing instead of Caesar dressing. And for some reason, I just find that disgusting. I don't know why. But so what I would do is every time she placed an order, I would put in 15 plastic forks in with her salad, send a little message. And she never really got the hint. She'd always bitch and complain about something. So my manager, and she'd always usually get a 2-liter too. Well, what my manager would do is he would take that 2-liter and fling it all the way across the parking lot. So that way, it would explode when she opened it. So we always found different ways to screw with this woman. Any customer that was crap, that treated us like crap and whatnot, like ones who would always bitch about the prices to us. Well, here's the thing. When you're just a regular employee, you have no say over the prices. And I'll be the first to admit, the place that I worked at, the prices were more expensive than, your Pizza Hut or your Papa John's, whatever. See, because I worked at just like a small regional chain. But they would always bitch to us about the prices. I'm like, Sir or ma'am, I have no say over that. I'm just an employee. I have no say over the prices. You need to talk to my manager or the corporate office. I have no say over that. So, but yeah, not as many, funny stories or anything like that. There was this one gay dude that I would take deliveries to from time to time, and this guy was just straight up obnoxious. Made you want to puke. One of my other fellow delivery drivers, he took a delivery out to him once, and for his work pants, he had a pair of Dickie work pants that he would cut the bottoms off and wear them as shorts. And he took a delivery out to this guy one time, and this guy says to him, "Oh my God, those pants are so those pants are cool. Where'd you get those at?" And he just said, "Oh, I got them at Walmart." And he goes, "Well, what are they?" And my buddy says, "Oh, they're Dickies." And this gay guy goes, "What? What do you mean Dickies?" And my buddy says, "Work pants." And the guy goes, "Oh, you mean the brand name, the brand name. Believe me, be careful when you say Dickies. You don't want to go there with me." I'm like, good God almighty, I wanted to puke. Ugh. But yeah, this guy was just so obnoxious. He would always have you, like if he was having a party in his garage or whatever, he'd have you bring the pizzas into his garage and exchange the money right there. And you would see these pictures of muscled and oiled guys all over his garage, and I think he even had playgirls sitting around. It was freaking disgusting. So now you guys know why I speak against that stuff all the time. But anyway, to get to your guys' comments here, but yeah, football expert. I had heard that Lou did include me in one of his videos, but I've never watched it. Don't plan to. I don't care. They charge a delivery fee, and Eric, you kind of already beat me to the punch, but the delivery fee is for gas for the driver's vehicles, because most places you do have to use your own car, because not every place has delivery vehicles. But yes, we do get that money in addition to the tips that we get. And to answer your question, what I do now, I'm a machinist. Actually, I work in a machine shop, and a lot of I run saws, mills, lathes, CNCs. And I'm sorry it took me so long to answer that question, but I just wanted to finish telling you guys those stories. But yeah, that's what I do now. Most of the stuff that I make is, or the parts that I shouldn't say make, but most of the parts that I machine, a lot of it goes to farming equipment. But we will do other things too, like couple weeks ago, my shift manager, he was actually making casket handles. But no, it's not. Machining is not what I saw myself getting into. But I will say this: it is very fascinating seeing how machines work and how different things are made. And they've been keeping me busy, 60 hours a week. So we have a lot of work coming through for sure. But no, this YouTube, no, I don't do it for a living. But yeah, just working in machine shops, that kind of work just seemed to fit with me. That, and mainly because I never really no, I'm not married. Not married. I did have a date a couple weeks ago. Because believe it or not, guys, despite my work schedule and doing these live streams, I'm not just cooped up here in my cave all day. I actually do get out. I do, even though I'm not married, I do go on dates when I get the chance to, and just had one recently, and things didn't work out. Her and I were too different. But yeah, eventually I would like to find that right woman, get married, have kids. I'm sure my parents would like to see some grandkids, but granted, my older brother already did get married and have a child, so he carried on the family name. I've thought about it. I've thought about it. The only problem is though, I actually, believe it or not, I did do it, or I did give it a shot a long time ago. Um, but just the problem is, when I did it, and this is a while ago. I'm talking like when I was in my early 20s. The only problem is like I'm trying real hard to find a true and strong Christian woman. And tell you guys the truth, I've never really actually met one. And the Christian women that I have met, there's always some kind of question or a but, as I like to call it. There's always some kind of, you know, there's always some kind of catch involved. Yes, I have. I have looked at church many times, but the problem is, my church now. They're all the women there are one of the three T's, as I call them. They're either too young, too old, or taken. Unfortunately. But like I was saying, I'm sure my parents would like to see grandkids from me, but I'm not going to rush it, and I'm not going to compromise my faith just to make sure that happens. Well, football expert, like I said, when I was working in a pizza parlor back in the day, we were located inside a bowling alley. I've actually thought that before, Eric. But just the well, yeah, of course, football expert. I mean, you know, I went on dates back then too. I worked with a lot of I worked with plenty of girls who were like back home from college and all that. But just like I said, the female league bowlers, they were absolute bitches. And plus, you're talking in a town of like just over 6,500 people. So what else would you expect? Yeah, I mean, if she was able to respect my beliefs, Eric, that'd be great. But in a way, I'd kind of be selling myself out on everything that I believe. 'Cause I'm sorry, I'm not going to be with a woman who supports Planned Parenthood, supports abortion, um, hangs out with a bunch of gay dudes. That's just not me. And yeah, I know based on me saying that stuff alone, that just proves that it's going to be hard to find one. But I'm not going to sell myself out. I couldn't live with myself if I did that. And honestly, this girl that I just went out on a date with, that was kind of why we parted ways. I wouldn't want him touching me either, dude. It's just with that part, it would just drive me crazy, and I'd have to hear her all the time saying, "Oh my god, like he is just so adorable. I love hanging out with him." I don't want to be around that. Yeah, that story I was just telling you about, that the one gay dude that we used to deliver pizzas that we used to deliver pizzas to, he somewhat hit on me because like when I was exchanging the money with him, he would kind of go like that and rub my hand, made me sick. And then years ago, I went with my buddy to one of his female friend's house, and she's pretty much and I'm not gonna say the F word because I don't want someone flagging this video, but she was what I would call a gay hag. So there was a couple of gay dudes that she was hanging out with, and I was polite. Even though I'm against it, I was polite. I introduced myself, shook my hand, and same thing. When I was shaking his hand, he was going like that underneath, and it was yeah, very very uncomfortable. But anyway, like I was saying, this girl that I just went out with, it was a friendly parting ways, not a bad one. You know, I respected her for I don't respect her views. I hate them, being completely honest. Um, but I didn't see her as some because she was having. I will say that she was having mixed emotions about her beliefs. I'll say that. So for me, that was good enough to give her that respect, and she respected me too for realizing that it wasn't going to work, and she felt the same. We both knew it wasn't going to work, so we respectively parted ways, and it was like, hey, if I see you around, you know, that's great. But it wouldn't have worked. Yeah, they do. They really do. But I don't want to go on a complete tirade about that. I mean, I tried it when doing these live streams. It was my goal to, have some fun, have there be as little tension as possible. Because believe me, I've been around many times where you discuss something that's religious or, well, not so much religion, but more of the social issues, and it gets out of hand pretty quick. Well, of course not. You don't have control over what a person does or what they believe. Absolutely. But I'm sorry. I'm not going to, when you talk about the respect part, like when you talk about the respect part, I'm sorry. I'm not going to respect a woman who supports murdering children in the womb. I don't respect that one bit, and I'm not afraid to say it. And the Arizona Hotshots have just put this one away. So, I mean, yeah, I respect the fact that, people can do what they want. I can't stop them. But, well, that's the thing, Eric. I'm very militant in that stuff. I feel very strongly about it because, these, you know, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. It's just, well, obviously not football expert, but it's very wrong to cheat an unborn child out of life just because you're not ready for it. I mean, murder is not a right. But just since you brought it up, I seen your comment here about I don't care who people sleep with. and I'm just curious. I'm not being a wise ass here. I seriously want to know how you feel about this. Are you fine with if it's family members that sleep with one another, stuff like that? I'll answer that question in just a second, Eric, about rape. Yeah, incest. No, I was asking football expert the question about family members sleeping together because he said before, I don't care who sleeps with who. But no, I wasn't talking to you about that, Eric. I was asking football expert. So football expert. I'm seriously asking. I'm not being a smartass. Are you fine with that? Or are you fine with, like, another example, bisexual or a polyamorous relationship or polygamy? Are you fine with that stuff? But while you answer that question, football expert, I'm gonna see if get something else on the TV here. See what all is on. Okay, here we go. We'll put on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. How about that? How's it going, dude? Yeah, New York is definitely a very liberal state. Well, you know what, Eric, that is something I definitely agree with you on. Myself, I guess based on my beliefs, I can relate to the Republican Party because that's what they say that their core values are. But honestly, though, identify as I don't identify as a right wing as a right winger because let's be honest. If you guys have never heard this before, excuse me, got tongue tied. If you guys have never heard this before, I'm telling you this right now. The right and the left wing, they're no different. The only difference is the left wing, they are just open about their depravities. The right wing, they disguise it by wrapping themselves around the American flag. But there's evil on both sides. So myself, I don't identify as either. I'm just a conservative Christian man, a true conservative. But yeah, I mean, really, if you do your research on it and look at different things, the left wing and the right wing, you'll see that they're no different. You know, it's just for one example, and you can research this. Take a look at the alt right, which is short for alternative right. That says all you need to know. But yes, I did see they're making a Bill and Ted Part 3, supposed to be out next year, I think. But um, but anyway, football expert, I still want to hear your answer to that question. Do you support incest and polygamy and all that stuff? And I'm not just trying to pick on you. I'm just want to know because you presented the question. Where? Are you talking about when you said I don't care who people sleep with? Okay, that's fine that you're a libertarian, but obviously you say that you don't care who sleeps with who, but are you really telling me that you're fine with incest and polygamy and all that? I saw it. I saw that you said I don't care who sleeps with who. I saw that part. Well, then what comment are you talking about? Because you said up here, I don't care who other people sleep with, and then after that you said you'll never have to have an abortion. I can guarantee. And then when I asked you if you when I gave you the example of two family members who if they sleep together, you said incest question mark. No, I don't have any of your comments blocked. I swear to that. They're all public. They're all on here. But then just what's your answer then? Could you retype it, please? No, believe me, if I blocked any of your comments, I'd tell you. You see that? Yeah, I do see this comment. Yes. So yeah, if you don't mind typing your reply again, I'd appreciate it. No. The part where you said you see that, the only thing above that is Eric's reply of I am seeing the same things. I don't see your reply either. I don't have anything blocked. There's nothing blocked on here. Except the only thing that's blocked on here are the people that showed up earlier. But there's no word filter, nothing. Yeah, that's good. Just yes or no. Do you support that stuff that I listed off, football expert? Yeah, I'm checking stuff. I have no filter or anything. So here you go. That question I asked you earlier, all that other stuff, incest, polygamy. Are you fine with that? Just yes or no? No, it's not. The F word's not blocked. Here, fuck, 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 fuck. No, seriously, type the F word out right now. You'll see that I don't have it blocked. Oh, bullshit. I can tell I'm being bullshitted right here. I'm telling everybody watching right now, I have nothing blocked except assholes who've showed up. So I see. I know right here. And again, Eric, I told you earlier that maybe I have a little paranoia issue, but I know when I'm being bullshitted with. Here, I'll prove it myself. Watch the comment section. Does that look blocked to you? How about that? I'm not giving you my email address. I mean, geez, I've done some stupid things before, but I'm not going to give anybody my email address. I'm not giving you my email address. I don't know you. I mean, really, how stupid do you think I am? Do it right now. Look here. Look in the chat section. I just typed it out. Hey, here you go. Eric and Mason, could you type the F word? I mean, I'm not trying to encourage dropping F-bombs or anything like that, but yeah, Mason, Eric, if you guys could just type the word fuck, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, just to prove this guy wrong. No, you didn't. Oh no! I said the F word. Yeah, I. Yeah. So, all right. Somebody else. I'm serious. Somebody else, please type the F word. So we can prove this guy wrong, and show that he's bullshitting. Because I have not blocked any kind of profanity on this stream. It's not like I have virgin ears. Let's see. Okay. If well, let me check something then, because I don't have. If that's the case, and yeah, Mason, if you really typed it in, I'm not seeing yours either. So let me see if I can fix something. So, football expert, if you were telling the truth, then I apologize. but I have nothing blocked. Yeah, this is weird. So I'm telling you guys right now, I had nothing blocked. I'm going in to see if I can fix that. I don't know. I just told you I apologize if you were telling the truth. So clearly, if Eric's isn't showing up and Mason's isn't showing up, then yeah, obviously there's some kind of filter that I didn't know about. But I'm telling you right now, I set no filters whatsoever. But regardless, I'll change it later. I'm not going to end the stream now and start a new one. But just yes or no. You don't need to say the F word. Do you support any of that other stuff that I mentioned? Just yes or no. No, you didn't. Just yes or no. So you're really fine with a guy screwing his sister, or you're fine with polygamy, or guys screwing goats, or something like that. You're really fine with all that. Okay, so why? So okay, all right. So why do you find bestiality gross, but all that other stuff isn't? So a guy screwing a goat, that's disgusting, but two guys sticking it up each other's backsides isn't. Well, it doesn't matter if okay, so it's okay, so what if it's consensual? Doesn't make it right. Because you also have people out there like freaking Milo Yiannopoulos who's pushing for pederasty. It's still wrong. It's still wrong, football expert. It doesn't have to personally affect you. This is what I've said to people many times. Something does not have to personally affect you, or in my case, me, to be against it. It's still disgusting. And that's fine that you're libertarian. That's fine. You wouldn't screw a fat girl. But all that stuff is still disgusting. Even if a guy did want to have sex with a fat girl, guess what? That just because she's fat, it's still a woman. But no, because even if she's ugly or fat, that's still what it was made to be, man and woman. Okay, so tell me, what good does two guys screwing each other up the butthole have to do with? How is any of that good for society? Show me where. This is what I like. People try to use the Bible to justify evil. Please show me where it says that. Actually, I can look it up. I can see what you're referring to. Okay, I think I know what he's talking about. He's talking about most likely Lot and his family after they fled from Sodom and Gomorrah. There's a part where it talks about Lot. Apparently, Lot had sex with his daughters, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And let me tell you something: his daughters were the one who did wrong. And I'm reading it right now. Yeah, exactly as I thought. Yeah. Yeah. First off, Lot's daughters were the ones who did the wrong thing, not Lot. He was asleep. So it's not like he said, "Hey, honeys, come here and let me have sex with you." Yeah, just I'm reading your comments, football expert. It's just amazing. Anything, all the routes that you will go to justify any kind of perversion, any kind of disgusting act. And well, maybe you're talking about kids, but like I said, there's people out there that are pushing for it. I mean, hey, and the law is stupid. They've already allowed all sorts of other floodgates for more perversions to open. So who says that? Who says that couldn't become law one day? That's the dangers of homosexuality, opening the floodgates for all this other crap. But for some reason, this is a perversion that's accepted. And and of course I get this all the time. Somebody uses some excerpt from the Bible to justify it. And of course, and usually of course they find that example and they get the complete wrong idea about what it is that was actually happening. Like for example, the not trying to bring his name up, but good old Uncle Lou, one of the examples he gave me when I was telling him to leave me alone, he says to me, "Do you get a haircut, Sean?" Which that argument I've heard many times before, because he's trying to say that, the Bible doesn't forbid you to get a haircut. No, it doesn't. It said what it says is you shall not cut your hair into shapes and different shapes and what you call it, designs showing praise to false gods, false prophets. But in the Bible, St. Paul himself even spoke of proper grooming. So there's a difference between shaving your head into shapes showing worship to false prophets and properly grooming yourself. And that's just an example of what I'm talking about when these people who support all these perversions, they try to throw the Bible at you to justify it. Oh, well, this verse says this and that verse says that. They don't actually study what the meaning behind it is. So, yeah, the only thing, football expert, that I'm getting out of you is that you're fine with evil. And obviously, all evil is not off limits to you. But for some reason, bestiality and children are. Well, who are you to tell others who they can and cannot love? And yeah, hope you picked up the sarcasm there. Okay, we'll go tell that to the Muslims then, football. See, that's the thing. Those of you who support homosexuality, you'll go after Christians. Like, look at the Christian business owners, for example, Aaron and Melissa Klein, Jack Phillips, out of Colorado, yeah. And there was a florist out of Seattle. They're being bullied by homosexuals and homosexual activists to basically give into them, to believe their ways. Well, hey, it's ridiculous to you, but not to them. No, but it's okay if homosexuals come into your place of business and force you to do something that's against their faith. It's called homo sharia. Yeah, so you're against Sharia law because they kill homosexuals, but you're okay if homosexual couples come into a Christian business owner and bully them around. That's okay. That's okay, isn't it? So you guys like to call Christians hypocrites. Look in the mirror. Well, you know what? They shouldn't. A country shouldn't be ran by a bunch of sodomites either. What do you mean? What is Trump? You mean religion-wise? I have no idea what he is. I thought Presbyterian, but maybe I could be wrong. But all I know is if you're going to pull that crap, and try to use the Bible against us to use it to justify sick and disgusting perverted acts, then you should actually learn what those verses actually mean and what those stories are all about. Because first off, the Bible does not show that human beings are perfect. It shows us why we need a savior, because we are fallen people. But at the same time, there is a difference between sin and flagrant disobedience. Well, obviously you can't make people abide by it, but that's how it was made to be, man and woman. And just honestly, they shouldn't do it. People should be against it because it's freaking disgusting, evil, and demonic. Does no good for the world. It's just perversion. Well, you know what? The religion of Sodom shouldn't be forced amongst everybody either, football. I mean, it's gone all across the country. Like I told you, all the Christian business owners that have been put out of business by these people. And don't kid yourself. These homosexual couples, they seek out these business owners on purpose, trying to force them into submission, because that's what the LGTB is all about. They're trying to force people to submit to them, to say that what they're doing is right. But yeah, no, I hear all the time the LGTB. Oh, they're these friendly, happy, funny little people that we could learn a thing or two of them about what love is. Don't you dare compare a man sticking his dick up another man's ass to being black. I am so sick to death of that argument. Because black people and being a sodomite are not the same thing. Because you know what? Between me and a black guy, there's no difference between us but our skin. But we still have the same parts, the same features, same anatomy. But what an insult to black people. I mean, I'll tell you this, black people, instead of fighting the police, this is the stuff that they should be fighting. Having their skin color compared to a man putting his penis up another man's anus and trying to be compared to the civil rights march and all that stuff. What an insult. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. The ones who did that football are just like you. Just like you. You use the Bible to justify your perversion and your evil. Get it all twisted and mixed up completely. That's not, believe me, there is not one argument that you've used here that I haven't heard before. Believe me, I've heard it all. So I can only wonder what the next one's going to be. But yeah, no, those ones that use the Bible to, the ones that use the Bible to do that against blacks really are no different than you. Just using the scriptures to justify wrongdoings. No, I'm not upset. I'm just combating you and your nonsense. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're no different. I mean, you're throwing around the Bible to use, like I said, to use it to justify perversion. Call it right. My nonsense that gays should be treated their same. No, they're not. No, they're not. Okay, homosexuality is not a species or a race or whatever. It is a behavior. It is a disgusting act that one chooses with their own conscience to do. But I expect the numerous redundant arguments to that. Well, let me ask you this, football expert. No joke. Are you a homosexual? Okay, and why are you not? Why are you not a homosexual? Well, I asked you a question. I'll answer the stuff you just posted here, but answer me the question. Why are you not a homosexual? Okay, well, have you ever experimented? Why not? Why have you not experimented with it? I mean, if there's nothing wrong with it, why wouldn't you try it? Yeah, but okay, you don't have to be attracted, but why haven't you experimented with it? Why haven't you tried it out? I mean, if there's nothing wrong with it, why haven't you tried it out? I mean, come on, if there's nothing wrong with it, you should at least experiment with it. All right, that's fine. That you don't go for midgets, but why haven't you tried it? Why have you not tried homosexuality out? Well, okay, exactly. Why would you? I'll tell you exactly why. And my point is this: you're not a homosexual because you know it's disgusting. You know it's not natural. Otherwise, you would have you'd either be doing it or you would have tried it. But you don't because you know it's disgusting. You know it's evil. You know it's demonic. You go with women. You are attracted and go with women because you know that's what's right. Breasts, ass, legs, waist, beautiful bodies. You don't go with other dudes because you know it's disgusting and unnatural. That's the point. Well, it is evil. I mean, look at what those people do. I already gave you several examples. I mean, I think what it is with you, football, is actually no, I haven't. But trying a food and trying sodomizing another dude are in completely different categories. Oh, going the Indiana Jones route, huh? Like I said, dude, one's a behavior, one is a food. They are worlds apart. We're talking about disgusting acts done by human beings. Not liking certain foods, like I said, two different categories, a world apart. No, it's not ridiculous. Because guess what? You can try pig's feet or monkey brains, not like it, and there would be no long-lasting effects. But no, you're trying to justify a dude sticking his dick up another man's ass and try to call it normal. There's nothing ridiculous. There's nothing ridiculous at all what I'm saying here. I think what it is with you, and believe me, you're not the only one like this. Oh, hold that thought. Cushion on my chair came loose. There we go. But let's see. Where was I at with that? No, they wouldn't. Well, you think I'm a part of some fringe group or something like that? Go to Russia, go to Serbia. Those people actually stand true to their Christian roots. There's a reason that Russia doesn't allow sodomite propaganda in their country. It's too bad we don't over here, because clearly you've fallen for it. In the sense that they don't allow sodomite propaganda? Yeah, absolutely. See, that's the problem with people like you, and believe me, you're not the only one. And now I remember what I was going to say. You are so fooled by the Hollywood portrayal of what homosexuals are. See, they've portrayed homosexuals on Hollywood and Hollywood movies and TV shows. They're presented these nice, funny little people who talk with a lisp, and they're so funny and energetic. That's not the reality. And that's what something football expert you need to get through your head. That's not reality. In reality, these people they might like to portray that what you see on TV of the talking with the lisp and acting all effeminate and stuff. But how do you know he didn't? Just because I wasn't there to see it doesn't mean that he didn't. But anyway, that's getting off topic here. You think that the Hollywood portrayal is reality, and a lot of them in real life may like to portray that, but it's not factual. It's not. Their reality is actually very dark. And believe me, I've seen it. I mean, a lot of these people wouldn't hesitate to kill you. I mean, you go to any cop. Here's one example. You go to any cop, and I tell you, I can guarantee you that they will tell you the worst crime scene that they've ever seen was done by a homosexual. I mean, hell, the most well-known serial killers in history have been homosexual. John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and one that hardly ever gets talked about. Look up Orville Lynn Majors. Murdered close to like 80 people in a hospital because he felt that and they were all elderly patients, because he felt that the elderly were a waste of life. Oh, so okay, this is some crap that I hear all the time. So because I don't think a guy sodomizing another dude is normal, that means that I'm backwards. Well, it's not my rules, actually, football. It's God's rules, not mine. But unfortunately, someone you failed to. You really don't care. You've rejected him. So don't be like don't say it's my rules. It's not mine. It's God's. But for whatever reason, you have rejected him, and that's a shame. I don't live by yours either. It's not my fault you prefer to see a bunch of sick and disgusting perverts all over the place that are being forced on in everybody's life, whether it be business owners or schools even. Oh, gee, the Constitution. Let me guess. You're going to bring up what, the 18th Amendment? Is that coming next? Because I've heard that one before too. I like this country. Clearly, you don't. You want to see it be perverted. But yeah, that the LGTB, they're so loving and friendly. Yet I go to Aaron and Melissa Klein's Twitter page when they still had one, and I see so many of them hoping that they die and that their kids get cancer and die and stuff like that. Yeah, they're these friendly little people who talk with a lisp and act all effeminate. I'm not a Muslim. So why would a Christian move to a Muslim country? That makes no sense. See, like I said, football, everything that you're saying right now, well, that's true. I'll give you that. Russia is not a Muslim country. But this is what I'm talking about. Um, Everything that you're saying right now, I've heard many times over, and this is just a sign that you're reaching. And you will do anything to justify perversion. So it's really just reaching and making excuses to justify sick perverted acts. But yet at the same time, even though it wasn't much on your in your particular case, you'll call certain things disgusting, but for some reason the act of homosexuality isn't disgusting to you. Your stuff is not true. The stuff that you're saying is not true. It is repulsive and just a complete lunacy. I mean, you made the accusation saying that everybody should abide to me and my rules. Like I said a million times, they're not my rules; they're God's rules. So I'm sorry that whatever point in your life that you've rejected Him and His scriptures, that's your choice. You can do that, and obviously I can't change your mind. I can't make you come back to Him. You have to do that on your own. But it really is a shame. And at the same time, you can't say it's just me forcing my beliefs on everybody. That same group of people that you support so much and you find completely natural and not disgusting, they do it too. So let's not be calling the kettle black. And there's the difference also is I'm speaking of things that are good for society, and following God and His scriptures. Those are good. A guy promoting sodomizing another guy, or lesbos doing the stuff that they do, that's just disgusting and unnatural. But like I said, I mean, I get it. You have your mind made up, and you can call me backwards all day long. But at the end of the day, I have Christianity that backs me up on this. God's scriptures back me up on this. Have I ever received oral? Well, first off, my sex life is nobody's business, and I'm certainly not going to discuss it on camera. Have you? And if you actually answer, then it just shows that you have no self-respect for yourself, because that's stuff that should remain private. Obviously not, which is why I don't believe in it. So no, I'm not afraid to answer questions, but my personal life, and especially in that regard, is none of your freaking business. And the fact that you would even ask it tells me a lot about the kind of person that you are. Because it seems like for you, there's no limits. And that right there is a problem. There needs to be a limit. And just this right here, this whole conversation, for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, however long it's been, just really tells me all I need to know about our society and how badly it's fallen. Mason, are you talking to me or to Football Expert? Because I've seen you pop in a few times. I haven't had the chance to read your comments. Well, that's what it is. What do you think sodomy is? Oh, okay, Mason. I didn't know who you were talking to, me or him. I didn't say there was anything incorrect about saying oral. That's that's the proper way to describe it. I didn't say anything otherwise. All I'm saying is I'm not going to discuss that part of my life on camera with an audience. So show me, please go back and tell me where I said oral was the wrong term or that I had a problem with it. I mean, yeah, no, I don't believe in doing it, but that is the proper term. I never said otherwise. But like I was saying before we got onto that, is just this conversation with you and me, it really shows how bad our society has fallen when there's no limits. It's like there used to be something in this country called ethics and Christian morals, and just seeing the society, it reminds me of how bad it's become when that's disappeared. Stuff that's disgusting, people accept it, nobody cares about it. Hey, I didn't even say that was a problem. I'm fine with being single. If that means if I have to sell out, then I'm fine with being single. You make it sound like I should feel bad about that. I mean, clearly you've sold your soul just to get laid. But yet I should feel bad for actually sticking to my beliefs. Yeah, I should feel bad about that. Well, sorry, but I'm not sorry, but I don't. I'm not sorry for it. Well, the filter thing I didn't even know about. Until both Mason here and Eric typed it in, they said the same thing. Because how was I supposed to know the F word was filtered? I didn't do it. And I even did apologize to you when I found out it was that was what was going on. Good morning. It's only 10, like quarter after 10 here. If I found out that he was gay, I'd be very disappointed. I'm already disappointed for the fact that he converted to Mormon. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I knew. I've heard the offsides joke many times, not just from him. I mean, the offsides joke I've heard long before. I heard that like back in grade school. So I think that's one that's run its course. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Am I surprised? No. Well, I don't watch his videos, so how would I know that? I had no clue that was his catchphrase or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I honestly, I really did not know that. But yeah, the whole F word thing, I didn't know it was filtered out. Just going back to that real quick. But I'll make sure that's changed for the next live stream. Nope. I don't even know what Twitch is. Bob Ross. It's definitely a good way to go to sleep. Yeah, he's on what you call it, Netflix too. Yeah, he's on Netflix. I think he's still there. I know some stuff doesn't stay on there all the time, but last I knew, Bob Ross uh, was on Netflix. And actually, that's what I did one night when I couldn't sleep. I just played the whole season and fell asleep to it. Not that he was a bad painter, but just how he, talks so quietly. So quietly. Gonna take a nice little touch of dark blue here, mix it in with some permanent white. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Mason, I saw you mention Taco Bell earlier on. I think I might actually head out there, honestly. Haven't eaten yet today. So, yeah, I just realized this is hands down. Well, between the one that we lost earlier because of bad connection, this is definitely the longest live stream I've had so far in the time that I've been doing them. Absolutely. I actually still have a gift card to use yet. Yes, Eric, I appreciate that very much. You have definitely been loyal, and that's putting it lightly. Yeah, Mason, you too. I'm sorry, you've been here for quite a while. I don't think you caught the first one before the internet went out, but you've definitely been here all along on this one. But of course, I'm just a backwards guy who just because I support Christianity and just live my life according to the faith as best as I can. But nice of you guys to still stay here and talk to me. Yeah, I mean, same here. Sunday night, I really never have much to do. Probably should go get some laundry done. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say. If me being true to the scriptures and staying strong in my faith makes me a backwards ass guy, then fine, I'll be a backwards ass guy. I don't care. But I'm not gonna call things right just because Hollywood and uh, politics and all sorts of that stuff glorifies it. But it's just unbelievable. Every single argument that I've heard on here so far are ones that I've heard many times over. I mean, really, when I said redundant, I think that was too light of a term. But that's fine. If I that's fine. If I lose friends or having those views means that I never find the right woman, get married, have kids, so be it. Because I'm not, one of the things I hate the most is sellouts, and I'm not going to be a sellout. Because I mean, hey, if the only way that I would be in trouble with that is if I was trying to, you know, get into the entertainment business, which I'm not. And that's the thing. I'm also not an ass kisser either. I could lose my whole YouTube audience, and I'd be fine. So, but yeah, guys, with that said, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Call it a night. Get a bite to eat. Get some stuff done here. But thank you all again for joining me on this live stream, and of course to Mason, Eric, you guys being here from the start. That is definitely loyalty and then some. But last thing I'm going to say is this: I'm not sorry for any of the things that I spoke against tonight or how I spoke against them, and I don't care if I'm the odd man out in this world. That's fine with me. So, with that said, guys, still going to do my usual ending. This is NDSean45. I'm signing off. And on that note, to all of you, even to you, football, God bless. Go Irish. And football, I hope you find the Lord and get back to him.